Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Tamari, the AstroFashionista. For all of you that don't know, I'm a professional astrologer. I've been studying astrology for over 14 years now. I have a business, AstroFashionista LLC, where I help people navigate their lives using ancient astrology, also other new age tools, numerology. I'm also a certified Reiki practitioner. I use tarot cards, oracle cards, pendulums. I do it all. So I really want to go over the 12 zodiac signs in today's video. And I'm a Western astrologer. I know there's all types of different forms of astrology. There's Chinese astrology, there's Vedic astrology. I am a Western astrologer, even though I dabble in learning about all forms of astrology. So I want to go through the 12 zodiac signs. I'm going to do more videos in depth about everything astrology, from love to business. But today, let's just start with all of the basics. Okay, Aquarius. If you're born under the sign of Aquarius, you're born around like January 20th to like February 18th. So Aquarius is the last air sign of the zodiac. Air signs, again, guys, they are socials most of the time. They like mental activity. They just are intellectual. Aquarius' ruling planet, again, I said that I'm going to say traditional and modern rulers. The traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, just like the sign before it, Capricorn. And their modern ruler is Uranus. And I'm leaning more towards using traditional rulers in my astrology practice, but I do look at both. So I find this is really, really unique about Aquarius, because even though they have this Saturn energy like Capricorn, like heavy, fixed, restriction, building something, they also have this erratic Uranus energy. And Uranus is the planet of unexpected change and just things happening out of the blue and just shaking things up. So it's like this mixture of like traditional old world, but then something totally different, which makes Aquarius like a very interesting sign. Its symbol is the water bearer. So a lot of people think that Aquarius is a water sign, and I have to correct a lot of people. It's not a water sign, it's an air sign, but the symbol is the water bearer, like pouring information. Its opposite sign is Leo. Its lucky day is Wednesday. If I could describe Aquarius in one word, it'd be eccentric. And the body parts ruled by Aquarius are the circulatory system, the shins, the ankles. And then some famous Aquarians are Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, Natalie Cole, Charles Darwin, Angela Davis, Matt Dillon, Christian Dior, Farrah Fawcett, Langston Hughes, Abraham Lincoln, Ronald Reagan, Jackie Robinson, Chris Rock, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and John Travolta. Okay, so fun fact, the signs that have the most presidents, Aquarius and Scorpio. Random. I didn't mention that with Scorpio, but the reason I mentioned it for Aquarius is because Aquarius is the sign of humanitarianism. They are humanitarians. I said this about every sign, but I'm very familiar with this sign because Aquarius is my moon sign. They are the air sign that I want to say is the most detached. So even though they value connections with people and talking and ideas, they like their space. They're really loners at heart. And that's almost like that Saturn influence, like staying to yourself, being in solitude, lost in your thoughts. That's very Saturnian. Whereas the Uranus is like the expansion and the technology and the seeing things on a large scale and helping humanity. That's almost the Uranus, I want to say. But for the most part, Aquarians are very quirky individuals. They are the people that like to be different. They do not want to be stuck in a box. Sticking them in a box is like their worst nightmare. Sagittarius is scared of being tied down because they want their freedom. Aquarius is scared of being put in a category. Like that is like the worst thing you can do for them, because they can't be described. They're very like a unique individual. They are very good at helping humanity. So a lot of them are good at like technology or They could be good writers. They might have brilliant thoughts just because they can see how things can be better. It's almost like they live 10 steps ahead of everyone else. Like they see things, how they could be improved in the future. And they look at some of us like, what are y'all doing? Like, it should be like this. And then when you catch up with them, they're already on to the next thing. That's like very Aquarius. The reason why I think they make good leaders is not only like the Saturn influence, but it's also because their ability to detach from their emotions. And this can be a detriment also, and it can be seen as a negative thing by people who are more in tune with their emotions. But Aquarians are not like, they're not an emotional type of person. They like facts, figures, straight to the point, directness. They don't do well with like, oh my God, like that's not their style. Like they don't do well with crying and stuff. Even if they're feeling that way, it's just not their style. So I think that's why they're good at like stepping back and being good leaders. It's a fixed sign. So again, all fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are stubborn. And Aquarius is more about being stubborn in their thoughts and things that they feel. Like if they feel a certain way about something and they think something should be done a certain way, they're not going to waver from that. But because they are air signs, they are a little bit more flexible, I would say, than the other 3 fixed signs, but not so much. If you want to have an argument with an Aquarius, good fucking luck, because they will have all their facts. And they also were not, like, again, like I said, they're not wavering from what they think. But they are open-minded. So like they're the friend that you can open up and tell like some weird stuff that you did like 5 years ago. And they're not going to judge you for it because they kind of like it. They're like, oh, that's cool. Like you did something different. Like, I don't know, Scorpio's like that too in some ways. But I feel like Aquarius is like not a judgmental sign. They, in love, so much like Gemini, they're kind of hard to pin down. Like, yes, Aquarians can be loyal, but they, like I said, they march to the beat of their own drum. So if you're trying to get them in some sort of program or like, let's do things this way, like, no, they're going to do things their way. And so I think that makes for an interesting partner because, like, let's say you're trying to parent, they might have a different, or co-parent, they might have a different idea of parenting than you might have. And there can be some problems there, but for the most part, they can be a very loyal sign. Again, it's fixed energy. They just need their space. I would say they're kind of misunderstood, but you know, it's almost like they don't care that they're misunderstood. They actually kind of like it. Like that's like, oh, you don't get me? Good. Like I'm a weirdo. I'm an alien. Good. Like that's very Aquarian style.